And the next presentation is from Hatch. Surah, the floor is yours.
Hello? Yeah.
Yes, hello.
Sorry, there was a bit of an issue. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Shurat from Hatch. I just have a couple of slides. I don't want to take too long. So for everyone who doesn't know what Hatch is about, it's a streaming service for games, and you can say pretty much mobile games, which is optimized for mobile networks. That's how I can best phrase it. So what we've done is to build an ecosystem or a platform. I wouldn't say ecosystem yet, but it's a platform to bring mobile content to without having the developer to go through a deep integration process. Now, there has been multiple previous attempts to build a platform or social platform around mobile gaming through SDK. I've been part of a pretty big game engine company who tried this as well. And there has been a lot of unsuccessful attempts at this. So the way Hatch has approached this problem is with a zero API integration, where for a game developer, if you have a game, you can pretty much give us your binary and we are able to stream it from our backend to the client. Now, streaming in 2019 can mean a lot of different things. You can stream using different techniques. Now, the way we differentiate ourselves from the rest of the cloud streaming or cloud gaming or game streaming, you will hear different things. Netflix for games, a lot of people are using different terminology, is that we are not using encoding or decoding of videos. So what we stream is basically data and rendering commands. And that makes us unique in the sense that we are pretty, not bandwidth heavy. And we can perform in a mobile on a mobile network, even when you are actually probably in a low latency scenario, like in a metro, or you're in your car in the suburbs where the network is not great. We do have a 5G first sort of a strategy where we are making partnerships with big telcos like Docomo. SKD is from Korea, South Korean Telecom, Sprint from US, and Vodafone in Europe. And these partners are our strategic partners to go to market. And they are heavily investing in marketing Hatch to their users for the 5G devices. So for a startup, that's a great thing to have exposure in newer markets with such big brand names. So far, we've launched Hatch. Of course, we were in beta in about 22 countries, but for Japan, South Korea, US, and then 4 countries in Europe: so UK, Spain, Germany. What was the other one? I forgot. Vodafone is our partner. So what we are streaming is fully featured premium titles, which pretty much means that there's no IAPs at this point. If you pay a subscription to us, you get an access to about 150 games at this point. We are adding one new game to the catalog, at least one new game to the catalog every week. And what we are building right now is a lot of social features and UX around the catalog. So our first hurdle was to get to a stage where you have a giant catalog. And now we have kind of solved that problem, and we are pretty happy where we are with that. But what we are trying to build right now is, like, we have leaderboards, we have competitions, and offline multiplayer and these kind of features. But what we are trying to build is all the, like, the social graph and the social features around gaming. on top of Hatch. So we are currently available on Google Play. We also have proof of concepts for various other platforms like iOS and VR and many other things which are Android based. We also have Hatch Kids application, which is currently in soft launch, which is targeting kids and families. So we've seen a high adoption rate for kids and families for catalog services where you can just get one app and get access to 50 different games inside it, pretty much full-fledged games. And we do also invest in Hatch originals and exclusives. So originals are our own production. Like our first original was Arkanoid Rising, which is a pretty big IP from Japan, from Taito. And then exclusives are basically games which do not exist in any other platform, but we are paying developers to bring their game to Hatch. It's kind of like how Netflix originals or exclusives work, but in a gaming vertical. Currently, our team is about 55, I think, and that includes sales, marketing, R&D, finance, cloud ops, DevOps, all of that. R&D, pretty much what I represent, is about half of the company, which is 26 people at this point. We have a few more joining, and we are looking to hire more. So maybe next slide is useful at this point. Oleg?
Yes, sir. Just a moment. Yes.
Yeah, so we do have a lot of requirements in various parts. Especially we have a invest as you go kind of a strategy. But I'll mostly talk about the 3 roles that we are currently hiring for. Like my biggest pain points at this point to scale in this area. So we are Android first, so Android developers, and it's like multiple roles. If I get 5 to 6 great Android developers today, I would hire them. So I'm talking about multiple roles there. So of course, I'm not going to hire 5 to 6 developers today because that's a very bad hiring strategy. So we are very careful in who we hire, how fast we hire, because of the bar and of course the pains of growth. But finding great developers who know the stuff, not just from Java or native perspective, but more from like end-to-end full stack perspective is important for us. So if you're an Android developer who has been into like product development, understands how to build good UX, and also great architecture on how to come up with a client which is adapted to back-end business logic, that is super useful for us because we try to abstract away all the business logic in the backend as everyone else does, and then also give the native experience, because what we are not trying to do is build a service on top of Flutter or React Native, which is cross-platform frameworks, which kind of takes away the native experience. I've been involved in React Native before, and native is quite different. And then the other team we have is the streaming tech team, which is for that we are looking for C++, OpenGL, OpenGLES developers. Basically, if you love graphics development, you're a very good fit there. C++, 2014, 2017 features, not so much, but 2014 is something we are using. Even if you know some other graphics API like DirectX or Vulkan, and you have some understanding of the OpenGL state machine, that's really good for us. GLES is not a mandatory requirement, but GLES is, of course, what we use. And iOS at this point is launched in 2 different regions, or a bit more, maybe 3. So it's also in a kind of a soft launch at this point. And the feature set is not as full-fledged as Android. However, we are investing more on the iOS side, especially on the Hatch Kids area. So we're also looking for iOS developers, and our code base primarily is in Swift. And of course, the streaming tech is written in C++. And on the right-hand side, you can see some URLs and handles, and you can check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Please do go to our website, and you can check all our benefits. We have pretty much all the benefits that everyone has spoken about. We take good care of you, make sure there's a relocation assistance and a package in place, sign-in bonus. We even do have like programs in place where you can start working from Ukraine remotely for Hatch while you pack your bags, if you have a home to sell or whatever. It takes time, moving countries in a pain in the ass. So I've done that 3 times, and I know. So if you want to take like a quarter to actually move, that's absolutely fine. And that's typically the case. Like you take, if you're with a family and if you have kids, you take 2 to 3 months to wrap up what you have in Ukraine and then move. So yeah, we can work very remotely. I have 5 teams under me, and then one of the leads is actually based in Vienna and in Austria. And it's his choice that he wants to be there and he doesn't want to relocate to Helsinki. So we do have remote people as well. So that's also an option for us. But yeah, please do visit our website. And if you can get through some sources from Darknet, you can try to stream some games. I don't know about your UX because you will probably don't have a close by data center. We have data centers all over the world, but we are not Ukraine focused at this point. So we'll most probably be streaming from our Polish or Amsterdam data center. But yeah, please have a go, and you can always send us most questions through Oleg or directly.